The Mandalorian was a huge success as soon as it began airing in autumn of 2019. The characters were compelling and the story was fresh. The Mandalorian series on Disney Plus is arguably the best content to come out of the Disney era of Lucasfilm to date. And it doesn't look like it's going to end there. The Book of Boba Fett will begin airing on December 29th, 2021, and fans of the mysterious bounty hunter are going crazy. This includes me. But that isn't all the creative team of Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have promised us. The Mandalorian Season 3 is currently in production, as well as the Ahsoka Tano series, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, Andor, and at least 2 films that we know of. So, it looks like we will have more content than we will know what to do with in Star Wars in the next couple months to the next couple of years. But let's focus on the first to come, the Book of Boba Fett, then the Mandalorian, in the direction this channel is going today on Star Wars Fanatic. If you're new to the channel, go on and hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on all my Boba Fett and Mandalorian content. This is the way. As I said, The Mandalorian has been a huge success, not only for Star Wars fans, but it also brought in some newer fans. Some of those just wanted to see what Grogu would do next, or Baby Yoda if you didn't know he actually has a name. Some really got into this storyline as well. Of the newer fans, not many even knew what a Mandalorian was before this show, at least the ones I've talked to. So I've decided on the direction of this channel for the time being. I would like this to be a hub where newer fans can come to learn about Mandalorian society, Mandalorian culture, and Mandalorian lore. And older fans that already know this stuff can come and just discuss it with me. I know a lot of you are going to say, but Star Wars Fanatic, you already do that. And you're right, I do. But I have also been throwing a bit of news into it, as well as the Book of Boba Fett news, rumors, and other options. But I want to cut some of that out. There are a lot of YouTube channels out there that are already covering the news and rumors, so I'd like to just stick with the lore. I know I've done other videos on who I'd like to see Boba Fett team up with or go against. I'd like to continue that. Can you imagine if Luke Skywalker shows up to fight Boba Fett and we get a Boba Fett point of view, and our perception of Luke Skywalker changes to one of him being kind of antagonist? Star Wars is all about points of view, and I think that would be a decent point of view to go toward. Just saying. I'm not saying make Luke a bad guy, but just make it where we see him a little differently. Sorry, I got a bit off topic. I'm not saying I will only do Mandalorian lore and Mandalorian culture. I will be doing the rest of the Star Wars universe as well. But my main focus will be on Mandalorians, Boba Fett, and Jango Fett. I know I should have kept Jango Fett and Boba Fett lumped into the Mandalorian category and not even mentioned them, but they are one and the same with each other, and I feel strongly about them being Mandalorians. But some fans do not believe Boba Fett to be a Mandalorian. But we'll see soon enough. As I said, I will be doing other Star Wars lore as well, but it won't be as intense as what I'm doing with the Mandalorians. And of course Boba Fett. Wink. I do love the rest of Star Wars, but I think I've grown quite a niche with the Mandalorian stuff here. I would love to be the center channel for those wanting to learn about Mandalorians, or just come to discuss it with me. I won't be changing the name of the channel or anything like that, because I am a Star Wars fanatic. But there are other Star Wars YouTubers out there who rarely talk about Star Wars in their videos anymore, even though Star Wars is in their channel name. But I digress. I will also continue making my Jango Fett fanfictions, as well as any other I think needs a story expanded on. I'm looking at you, Bib Fortuna, you slave trading piece of... never mind. So if you're fairly new to my channel, or if this is your first time, I'm committed to bringing you the best content around. I'll still do my Star Wars theories and predictions, but I want to be known for my love of the Mandalorian culture, and how the Star Wars universe is so much more vast than just the Jedi and the Sith. I know that was a long bit to listen to, but I thought it was important to give you, the viewers, a direction that I will be headed with this channel. So, mostly Mandalorian culture, Mandalorian history, and Mandalorian lore. And I'm sorry I keep saying this, and my viewers will tell you I've probably made 4 or 5 videos on this subject, But yes, Boba Fett and Jango Fett are Mandalorians. Boba Fett never said he wasn't a Mandalorian. He made 2 comments: I owe my allegiance to no one, and I never said I was. Both statements are true. Boba Fett is of Clan Fett. How many members are in Clan Fett? 1. Just Boba Fett. The Rezolnari states remain loyal to your clan. Since he is the only one of his clan since his father dies, he remains loyal to himself and owes his allegiance to no one else. The test of whether or not he follows the Rezolnari will be when the Mandalore calls for him. If he follows the Rezolnari, Boba Fett will have to answer. As for his second comment, I never said I was, Boba Fett is correct. Up to and including this moment with Bo-Katan Kryze, he didn't say he was a Mandalorian. He also didn't say he wasn't a Mandalorian. He never mentioned anything of being a Mandalorian. But if you look at the way he fought Bo-Katan's sidekick Casca Reeves, he sure fights like a Mandalorian. He also has the profession of one, which is bounty hunting. That is one of the accepted professions of the Mandalorian culture. Okay, sorry for bringing that up again. I still get nasty messages because I said Boba Fett is a Mandalorian, and I wanted to just say it one more time so I can get some more nasty messages. Star Wars fans are some of the most passionate people I've ever encountered, and I love it. One guy even commented on my last video that I am not a true Star Wars fan if I don't want to see more Luke Skywalker. What the hell is that? Are you able to tell me I'm a fan or that I'm not a fan? You don't even know me. I'm glad you're using your self-appointed authority to make these decisions for me and other people. I'm sorry, Luke Skywalker doesn't need to be in every single Star Wars project. There is a time and place for Luke, but it is not in the Book of Boba Fett. I'd love to see a Luke Skywalker versus Boba Fett showdown though, if the playing fields were balanced, but they are not. Luke Skywalker has the plot armor, and I'm pretty sure I would see my favorite Mandalorian lose because of that alone. Never mind the fact that Boba Fett was trained by the man that defeated 6 Jedi with his bare hands. Jedi who were far better trained than Luke Skywalker. But we see Luke Skywalker in the sequel trilogy, and there is no mention of Boba Fett. That doesn't mean Boba Fett's dead, but it does mean that Luke Skywalker did not die by the hands of Boba Fett. Not that it needs to happen or it should happen, I don't think it should. But if they stuck to the lore with the fighting styles, yeah, it's Boba Fett for the win all day. So Luke Skywalker should not show up in the Book of Boba Fett because it would be inaccurate if Boba Fett were to lose to Luke. That's not saying the story couldn't flip, just like in Legends, and Boba Fett and Luke Skywalker become allies of some sort. But that should be for a different series altogether. Maybe the Mandalorian or the Ahsoka series or some unnamed series or project. Okay, I just went way off topic again. What do you guys think? Focus more on Mandalorian lore, Mandalorian culture, and Mandalorian theories, as well as Boba Fett, of course, than the rest of the Star Wars universe? Our viewer Javier seems to think of me as a Mandalorian ambassador of sorts on YouTube. I kind of like that. Let me know in the comments below if you think it's a good idea. I'd love to get your opinion. And if you are new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications to stay up to date on all things Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and Jango Fett. Why? Because you know it's the right thing to do. Also, hit the thumbs up to show your love for the hours of work I put into this video and every other. No kidding, this is the second time I've had to record this video because my computer crashed and deleted all my files. Thank you for watching, and remember, this is the way, the only way.